Ayurveda is about eating what is in season, when is in season in your village.
Yeah. So that's when people talk about eating hot foods and cool foods in the
Yeah.
summer.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
Now, like I said to you, this is something that I find interesting because 10, 15 years ago, when I started practicing Ayurveda, when they used to ask um, the people that are high up in the yoga chain, that are famous and they're superstars in the yoga world, they used to ask them if they ate meat or what they thought about meat consumption. 15 years ago, when I started practicing yoga, they used to say not everybody is gonna eat meat, and if you are if you are anorexic, if you are in such a bad health that you need to eat meat, you should eat meat because meat is medicine.
Mm-hmm.
There are foods in Ayurveda that are considered, like garlic and onion, they are considered your antibiotics.
Okay.
So, meat in Ayurveda, many years ago, and still some books that I have now, they say you can eat meat under these circumstances.
Right. Right.
Now, a few years later, then they started to say, don't eat meat, it's bad, you're a bad human, da 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 da. Now, it's not a secret the way that animals are raised
Right.
for food consumption. There are some food factories that now are putting hormones in in chicken,
Yeah.
and chickens are now grown with four wings instead of two,
Right.
right? So imagine how much hormones go into this chicken to do that. So if we are doing that, we have to rethink our meat consumption. in my in my humble opinion, which is not a big opinion but it's just my opinion, when I go back to my hometown, people wait for their cow to die to eat it. People wait for their pork to die to eat it. So I am not gonna go with my Ayurveda flag
Yeah.
to tell people in my hometown
Like you don't
don't
even
eat,
butcher it in the spring. You're like, when it dies, it dies.
right? But the other thing, and this is the book is called Human Engineering. They have it at Delta Group. I'll point it out to you. Is Human Engineering. The author of the book talks about why we don't eat meat. And the reason why we don't eat meat is because we are not capable of digesting the emotion of the animal. We are not able to digest the emotions of the animal.
Hmm.
So we're eating that meat and we're eating all that stress, because if the animal is stressed out, the meat is stressed out. We don't understand that. As yogis, we understand that.
Yeah.
You're eating the meat of an animal that is raised under stress, and you're eating that. We don't have the strength to digest the emotion of the animal. If we're just learning to digest our own emotions,
Right. We don't have the emotional maturity to deal with that
correct.
because we're not probably thinking like, hey, I should bless this meat and thank this meat for eating. Because I do, and I'm like, people probably think I'm weird if anyone's ever at my house when I'm cooking. I'm like, thank you for this energy. That
Exactly.
makes sense.
Exactly. Okay. So plants, by the process of photosynthesis, plants use the sun energy to combine water and carbon dioxide inside their chloroplast, aka plant food factory, where they make sugar and oxygen. So all I'm telling you here is that by eating plants, I'm eating chlorophyll and I'm eating sugar, good sugar, and I'm eating oxygen, 100% oxygen when I'm on a plant-based diet. Herbivores, which are we're thriving for that. Animals that consume plant diet possess with their digestive system intestines 12 times the length of their body. So they have a big digestive system. It's like really big, really long. So plants decay slowly, and their internal system is equipped for this process. And also their teeth are square, like our molars, designed for chewing. So this is another big thing that I don't hear a lot of people talking about it, but we're gonna go to carnivores. They eat meat and they have a simpler, however harder heat digestive system. Their intestines are 3 times the length of their body. So in herbivores, their intestines are 12 times bigger than the length of their body. Carnivores, they're 3 times bigger than the length of their body. And with their powerful heat, they are able to digest food. And then they have sharp teeth that are designed to bite, rip, and grind meat. So we as humans have the sharp teeth and we have the square teeth. So can we eat meat? Yes, we can. We were designed for that. Again, nobody's talking about it. Everybody's denying it. Blah, 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 blah. I'm going to talk about it, God damn it, because I'm going to go to Mexico and I'm going to eat my tacos. Nobody's going to shame me. Fiber. Fiber is important for a healthy diet. Now, that definitely, and the older we become, the more we realize that. Our digestive system and cholesterol levels benefit from it. And foods containing fiber have an abundance of nutrients. Leafy greens, vegetables, fruits, legumes, and whole grains. Then we have vegetables and fruit. Eating vegetables and fruits is one of the easiest ways to achieve a healthy diet. And Ayurveda teaches eat one kind of fruit alone 30 minutes prior to any meal. Fruit is the fastest to digest. When our diet is rich in fruit and vegetables, their consumption will reduce heart disease, stroke, blood pressure, cholesterol, and we become healthy. But the big thing with Ayurveda is always not to create toxins in the body. Toxins in Ayurveda are called ama, A-M-A, ama. A-M-A, ama, is toxins. If you wake up in the morning and have this sour taste in the mouth, that's ama. You're eating too late. And you're eating the wrong mixture of foods. And most likely, somewhere in there, you're eating fruit with your vegetables, or you're eating a fruit salad, which is like the fastest way to get toxins in the body.
Eating a fruit salad?
Eating a fruit salad, because fruit should be eat one kind of fruit alone 30 minutes before you eat.
Yeah, so it kind of...
And you don't mix fruit with dairy. And what is in fruit salads?
A lot of dairy.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. You got it. Carbohydrates. complex carbohydrates are stocked with vitamins and minerals, and they provide the body and the brain with energy and fuel. So if you're doing all of the things that we do when we're exercising, running, Pilates, going to the gym, swimming, canoeing, all of those things we need. The issue with carbohydrates is not that we're eating the carbohydrates, is that we're eating the bad, the low quality food.
Simple, like white bread, white rice, which I do like some.
But your body digests white rice is not the enemy, because your body digests white rice quickly. Quickly if you eat it the right way. Because remember, a lot of the Indian recipes are basmati rice, it's white rice, because it's so easy to digest. It's easier to digest than fiber rice. The issue is the Twinkies,
Yeah.
the cake, the cheesecake, the all of those,
Yeah.
all of those.
Super refined.
Exactly, and it's the carbs with the sugar. Now, I didn't say sweet, I said sugar.
So does that mean like, and that always confuses me about sugar. Like, if I'm buying like unbleached, like pure cane sugar, like for my coffee, like in the morning, like 1 teaspoon, because I don't like my coffee super sweet because there's probably going to be sweetness from whatever creamer I'm using. Okay, that makes. Okay.
Yeah. So yes, your raw sugar, your honey is gonna be the best. But again, is what are you mixing sugar with that is creating the toxins, right? Now, coffee is another thing that we all shame coffee, and we all shame coffee drinkers. Some people can drink coffee. For some people it's good, that that black tea is good. For others it's not. If you're vata, definitely you want to stay away from coffee. And if you're a crazy vata, that is like you don't meditate, you don't do yoga, you don't eat good foods, and then you drink your coffee, hello, this is the crazy person that everybody wants to avoid, right? If you're kapha, if you're a kapha person, you don't want to move, you don't necessarily want to exercise, you're on the heavier side, you need that rajastic thing to take you out. But then again, it's going to be the amount of coffee that you're drinking.
Now that I'm going back into the office, I've been drinking like a lot more, doing all the bad things, eating all the bad things. Okay.
Okay, proteins. Protein is an important part of each cell in the body. It makes up hair, nails, builds and repairs muscles and tissues, and is a vital component of enzymes and hormones. It's an essential building block of bones, muscles, cartilage, skin, and blood. However, we already know you don't necessarily need to eat meat to get your proteins. There are beans, there is garbanzo, there are vegetables that have a lot more protein than meat. Fat. Fat is not the enemy. People, listen to me. Fat is not the enemy. In Sanskrit, the word fat translates to love. Fat protects and lubricates the body, joints, and tissues. We need fat in our diets. Ghee provides essential fatty acids that are needed for healthy skin and the development of cells. Now, listen to this carefully. The issue with fat is that oil, all the oils, we need to understand this. Ghee is the only fat, is the only oil that you can heat up at a high temperature without turning into a toxin. Ghee is the only fat that you can heat up at a high temperature without turning into a toxin. The issue with oils is that they don't say it on the label. Some do, the good ones, the fancy ones. They are gonna tell you if they are for low, medium, or high heat.
Yeah.
Once you heat up oil, it becomes toxic.
Huh. Like even your avocado oil.
It becomes toxic. Okay? So you need to learn what oil can be heated to a high temperature if you're gonna deep fry something.
I would. No, I'm not. That's no.
Okay.
Like I always saute.
Okay. Fine.
But at restaurants, I will.
Yes. Now I'm gonna tell you a little secret that you don't know. Nobody knows this secret. So listen. After you heat up oil once, it becomes toxic. Completely is a toxic. So the issue with oil, the issue with the consumption of oil is that you heat it up, use it, throw it away. If you eat in restaurants, listen to this, you're gonna love it.
I've worked. I already.
Okay, if you eat in restaurants in United States, the law is restaurants have to change the oil that they use every 2 days.
Gotcha.
That's the law
Yeah.
in United States. Restaurants have to change the oil. So now I'm going to repeat it. After you use oil once, after you heat up your oil once, it becomes toxic. Restaurants in United States by law change if their oil every 2 days. So if you want to eat the delicious flautas, make them at home. Make them at home. With ghee. Or look for the oil that you can heat up at a high temperature. Use that oil once and then throw it away. Loopholes, I love them. I'm all about the loopholes. Okay. Dairy. Farm dairy from cows that do not exist in our country provide us, in our country, when I say our country, I'm meaning the US of the A. It's not a secret. Farm dairy from cows that do not exist in our country provide us with dairy that helps increase bone density, reduce this risk of osteoporosis, promotes weight loss, lowers blood pressure, and helps reduce the risk of hypertension. In Ayurveda, chai is made with whole milk. And there are some recipes that are made with yogurt. So dairy is fine. It can be a thing. The issue again is those cows that are raised with hormones and then we drink the milk.
Right. Unless you're like getting it from like a old. Okay.
Unless you're getting it from your backyard where you have the cow hidden, that nobody knows that you have a cow.
Right.
And you're feeding it carrots and you're telling the cow, I love you every day, and the cow is happy. Because we cannot digest the emotion of the animal.
Okay.
Eating and the mind. Yoga and Ayurveda balance the mind. We cannot experience a balanced, quiet mind when the body is in pain. The new term now is dosha. And this is our nature type. This is it's a bad comparison, but I'm gonna compare it to our zodiac sign.